Hello and welcome. I'm Greer Lynch, VP Marketing at Mavenoid. Excited to bring a customer story to you today. I have Graham Rowlands, SVP Global Sales and Operations at KEF. Welcome.
Thank you, Greer. I'm glad to be here.
Great. To start off, can you tell us a bit about KEF? What type of sound equipment does the company manufacture and sell, and who are its customers?
Sure. So KEF or KEF, depending on your discipline, has been around for more than 60 years now. It's a British brand. It was started by a BBC engineer, actually, Raymond Cook. And out of a need to find solutions for BBC recording, at the time the monitors that engineers used were extremely large to get the accurate sound. And so when they were doing outdoor broadcasts or anything that was mobile, it was impossible to bring quality sound to their environment. So Raymond pioneered the use of computer-aided design and different materials without compromising the audio quality that audio engineers needed when they were doing the BBC recording. And one thing led to another, and audiophiles picked up on it because suddenly it wasn't the size of a minivan. These speakers were actually would sit nicely in a lounge room. So he started to build for audiophiles as well as for the BBC. Fast forward 60 years, we're now in a position where KEF continues to manufacture and deliver that immersive sound experience, but to everyone now, for those who want to enjoy that sound. So KEF actually, the name comes from where Raymond Cook actually started the business, which is Kent Engineering and Foundry. It was started in a small county, Kent, in the UK, in Maidstone, and we continue to manufacture, and our prime R&D is still on site in that same place 63 years later.
Fantastic. That's quite a great background and heritage for the brand. When it comes to customer support, what do your customers expect from your brand, and how have their expectations influenced your customer support philosophy?
Yeah, look, I don't think our customers actually expect anything different from what they expect from any other brand, to be brutally honest. The difference is our philosophy, I guess, is from a customer service philosophy. We believe that every touch point, every time a customer reaches out to KEF, we want them to have that same level of wow that they had when they first experienced our speakers in that immersive sound environment. Looking for here is not only to deliver the solution, to provide it in the way and when and how the customer wants it, but we want it in a way that absolutely delights them and is in line with that vision.
Fantastic. So when you're thinking about customer support, how do brand loyalty and reputation risk factor into your approach?
Yeah, so again, like the whole philosophy of customer service, it's not that we single out brand loyalty or we single out that risk to our brand. It's more, again, if we do the right thing and we provide that luxury level of customer service, then the loyalty will follow. In fact, the advocacy follows. And an age-old thing that it's you can turn a bad customer experience into a good customer experience much easier than getting a good customer experience to then go out and tell others. So we sit on the opportunity, and this is what we drive home to our staff, is every one of these opportunities where people are coming to us and asking for more information to assist in their KEF experience. This is an opportunity for us to drive home just how good our products are and our brand is, and how we will go that extra mile to deliver that experience.
Fantastic. I think that going the extra mile, it sounds like for you means more of an omni-channel approach where you really meet your customers where they are.
Yeah, very much so. So, and I think it was when I first introduced to Mavenoid, it was one of your keynote slides back in the workshop in Amsterdam a number of years ago. But it resonated with me. We were well and truly down that path, but it shouldn't be presumptuous of a brand to decide how a customer is going to reach you and when they're going to reach you. It's more about making sure that you, as the brand, are available in the right channel at the right time with the right answers to support the customer. So that could be by phone, that could be via email, that could be via the web. It could be via self-service, which we will get in, which is what Mavenoid has definitely, in our world, revolutionized how we deliver. But it's not for us to curate how customers come to us. It's for us to be there and to be available to answer those questions, whether that be day or night, through the platform that is most comfortable for them.
Great. Well, then let's dig into it a little bit. I'd love to understand a little bit more about your support process. So if you could walk me through that, that'd be interesting. I understand since your audio equipment has many nuances and how to set it up, so there may be some real complexity to the troubleshooting. I'd love to understand what support looks like in those high complexity situations and what the training looks like for your team.
Sure. Geographically, we have our customer service teams embedded in our sales operations hubs, SOH. And so regionally, we have them in the US, in Asia, and in Europe, in the UK or Europe. We have them connected, if you will. So through Salesforce, Service Cloud, and Mavenoid, all of the queues and all of the cases, work in progress or closed, are interconnected. And what we've done a little differently is that we manage those queues no matter where they come from. And we leverage some of the tools within Mavenoid to assist us where language is an issue. So for live chat, we're not limited with the language. What we can do is actually use that translation module that you have available in Mavenoid for live chat. We explain to the customer, this is not our language. We're helping you out of hours in another area. So we don't try and pretend to be something we're not, but we'll do the best we can to help you out. And if there's more that needs to be done, the next day, one of our team in your region will pick this up. So we've found that just that simple honesty and timeliness to acknowledging that they're having a problem goes a long way to just placating some of these issues that get amplified over hours or over days. So those regional teams are set up in a tiered arrangement. There's a tier 1, which is the bulk of our CS team, and they undergo a number of months of training with our product management team, with some knowledge base online training, and they're the front line, if you will. They're the people that take the bulk of the cases that are still reasonably high complex, but they're the ones that we work through on a daily basis, if you will. How do we connect to the network if it's one of our powered or wireless systems? How do I stream my phone? How do I connect my TV? Can I connect multiple speakers to work as I move around my house, etc.? So those are the bread and butter approach, if you will, that but we help people through to find a solution. We then have in each of the regions, depending on the size of the region, one or more tier 2, and they're our deep specialists. They have a lot more working knowledge, a lot more experience, and connections with our product management and R&D teams at a much deeper level. So the tier 1s will go back to the tier 2 and ask those questions. If they get stuck on a particular networking solution, or a particular customer is asking about another brand amplifier or a streamer, or some recommendation that's not specifically about a solution, but we still want to give them some premium advice to help them out. So it's a tier 1, tier 2 approach, interconnected through regional, geographically isolated areas.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you for that overview. I'd like to understand then how Mavenoid uses its AI to deliver some highly specific answers in those more complex troubleshooting scenarios. So how have you implemented this capability for your teams that you just described?
Yeah, I feel like we've only just scratched the surface with Mavenoid. It's been a couple of years now, but still there's more tools in the toolbox, if you will, from Mavenoid. So before Mavenoid came along, we were looking at some live chat, but not chatbot, not the self-service. So we had put up a couple of pilot areas for live chat to see how it was working, and it was effective to a degree, but it was still a very linear approach. When we analysed how many cases could our staff manage on a daily, weekly basis, we're introducing a new channel, which is right with our philosophy, because we want to reach the customer where they want to be reached. But we needed more people as we got more cases, because we had more channels. So that wasn't going to work, certainly not on the bottom line. So I needed to find a smarter alternative, and Mavenoid was one of those options I looked at. And self-service, when you first think of it, and a luxury brand, sounds a little inconsistent. But again, it's the customer that is driving this. So Mavenoid doesn't limit us to offering a self-service or a chatbot solution, but it gives you the option if that's what you want. And then you can escalate to live chat, or you can go straight to live chat, or anywhere in between. So what Mavenoid was able to do through the AI assistance of self-service, so it then trawled through all of our knowledge base, all of our user manuals, all of our cases up until then, the case history, and we developed with Mavenoid quite a sophisticated customer journey through self-service that allowed customers the option to find the answer themselves in a very meaningful and easy way, if you will, because the data tells us that the vast majority are getting there. So when we first kicked it off, we had 4 of our active Wi-Fi models, which give us probably 70% of our cases, that customers that are reaching out to us. And we just had it as a little chatbot at the bottom, and off it went. And what we set as an internal KPI is if we could get to 30% self-service, that would be great. Well, since inception, we've moved it to 11 ranges of product now, and we're over 50% that are satisfied with self-service, 10% with live chat that get the answers that they want. So we're more than eclipsing the KPIs that we initially started. We've now obviously got new KPIs that are sitting there, and the Mavenoid AI that we're currently using is really focused on that self-service. When we look back on a monthly and quarterly basis, and we work with your technicians as well, we look at the nodes that the customer journey where it stops more often than not, or the I can't find an answer and it goes to live chat, and then we analyze what that's about. And so AI in that respect is assisting us. So over time, what we noticed was, whilst our case count was increasing, Mavenoid has brought us in self-service, it's added about 27, just under 30% more cases, but we haven't had to add one more staff member globally. So this is amazing, and it's only 11 ranges in our product offering. So the best is yet to come.
Wow, that's incredible to hear those results. So thank you for sharing that. So what does the future of customer support look like for you all at KEF? I mean, sounds like you have some great initiatives underway, but you're just getting started. So what else is there ahead?
Yeah, you guys at Mavenoid, you've developed an AI assistant for our customer service people. We're looking to embed that in the coming years. So what that does, just to do a little sales plug for Mavenoid, because you've sold me on it, is it assists our tier 1 customer service people. So as the questions are coming in, it allows our CS people to be able to almost Google, because everyone's familiar with the term, but Google within our own knowledge base, our manuals, etc. So ask the question or take that question from the customer, and Mavenoid through AI will prompt the answer it should be looking for, and will provide, if it's coming from a manual, it'll provide the link to the manual. If it's coming from a picture, it'll allow the picture to be shared, etc. So that's working. That's a work in progress for us. We want to do that. We want to go to so we currently just use the chatbot area. We want to move that to a full page customer service help desk approach, and we think that's definitely got merit. And I guess the non-Mavenoid side of the business that we need to be pulling forward. So I mentioned before that all of our regional SOH teams are connected through Salesforce and through Mavenoid. We still get a percentage of people that call through call the office. Now, if they're calling out of hours, it will just go to an auto attendant. We will roll out in the coming year a cloud-based PBX, which will allow us to interconnect all of our SOH staff, and so we'll actually tie that all up in a bow, and that means that all channels that customers come to us can actually be transferred automatically to any region that's open during their daylight hours. And I did forget one important initiative that Mavenoid and our team did. It may not be applicable to all brands, but with KEF, when you buy our active products, there is an app that we use to not only onboard the speakers to allow you to connect to your network, to connect to other KEF speakers that you have, but it allows you to stream from your smartphone, change to your television if you want that immersive sound, etc. So it's the KEF Connect app that is doing that. Some time ago, we actually embedded the Mavenoid self-service bot into KEF Connect, and it's now more than 50% of our self-service cases are coming from that KEF Connect app. Remembering that the majority, the bread and butter of what we're doing is, how do I connect your speakers? I can't see it in the manual. It doesn't make sense. Can you just walk me through it? They're using the KEF Connect app at that time. So if there is a smart option through Mavenoid to be able to do that, they're using it, and they're using it more than 50% of the time at the moment to find an answer. So we're finding great success with that.
Wonderful. Can you just share, last question here, what customer support strategies or tools would you recommend to other companies who are similarly focused on, providing the best customer support experience?
I don't think it's a complicated scenario. I think you just have to be one, aware of your brand purpose or your brand vision. Then look at that in terms of what you need to do in customer service to align with that purpose and vision. And that's not about saving. It rarely is. And then don't be arrogant enough to tell the customer how they need to connect with you, what time they want to connect with you, how they need to connect with you. That, from a luxury audio brand's perspective, that's inconsistent with our purpose. So it's about finding that middle ground between not being taken advantage of by customers who don't do the right thing, don't help themselves, but offering a service when the customer needs it, how the customer needs it, and where the customer needs it, consistent with your purpose.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for that advice, Graham. It was so great to have you. Really appreciate your time. Thanks.
My pleasure.